Man, it feels good to be back. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world or in your day. This is the What You Know About It podcast. It's Ra with my co-host as always, the Panic Hispanic himself, Edgar. What's going on, man?
Word.
That's it?
No, man, it's going to be live right now.
Right?
En vivo, as my people like to call it.
Man, we have not been live in several weeks. It's
Yeah, for real.
Really weird. Really weird.
I took a shower for this.
Oh, got all sexy, huh? Sexy Edgar today.
I don't know about that.
Oh, man. I think there's one person who would beg to differ.
Oh, man. Who's in the waiting room?
That person is not in this room, by the way.
Okay.
Man, just letting you know. I like you. I like you. I like you a lot, but let's just leave it there.
All right. That's fine. No offense taken.
How's your week, man?
The week's been good.
Yeah.
Good as can be. It was a long week. Work was long hours, but survived it. It was an eventful week, though.
Okay.
This week, Disneyland tickets went on sale.
Ah.
And yes, I did score tickets.
I wasn't going to ask because I already knew the answer to that. I already knew the answer.
I scored tickets for myself, Christy, Jerry, actually, and another ticket to go to Avengers Campus the day that it opens on June 4th.
And where is said campus?
At Disney's California Adventure.
Oh.
So we're going to be there for opening day. That was my main goal, was to just at least be there for that. I didn't want to be there for the first day of Disneyland. Like, I did, but I didn't. I just knew that there was going to be too much build up to it.
Okay.
And I just didn't think that I would really enjoy the day. So I'd rather wait for that a little longer. By the time June 4th rolls around, the hype will be kind of lowered a little bit.
Wait, they make you specify a specific day to use a ticket?
So the way that they're working their pricing, there's like a tier program.
Okay.
So there's 5 tiers. And depending on the day of the week, the time of the year that you're going, your ticket could be tier 5, which is the most expensive ticket, or tier 1. Let's say if you just want to go on a Wednesday during the week, like right now, there's no spring break, there's nothing. That's a tier 1 ticket. But you're trying to go on a weekend in the summertime, that's a tier 5 ticket. And then other days just kind of fall in between that. But yeah, for Avengers Campus Day, that's a tier 5 ticket. And then when you buy your ticket, you have to reserve the day that you're going to go. That way they know what the capacity is going to be like. And you have to tell them if you want to go from one park to the other. And if you plan on doing that, they don't allow you to hop over to the other park until after 1 p.m. A lot of regulations. So our tickets are just for California Adventure the whole day. That's it. No complications. I know where I'm going to be the entire day.
So what is the appeal to this Avengers experience?
Man, Avengers Campus has been on hiatus because they delayed the opening since like last year. I think it was supposed to be like August or something.
Well, you get to meet an Avenger.
Well, I mean, yeah, you've already been able to do that since before Avengers Campus. You got to remember that they already had that Guardians of the Galaxy ride already. That's the ride that took over the Tower of Terror.
Okay.
They already had like meet and greets with like Quill and what's her name? I can't think of her name right now.
What's she look like?
Not Nebula, the sister.
Oh, Gamora.
Gamora. You can meet Groot, like teenage Groot walks around a little bit.
Okay.
Thor, Captain America,
Where's
Captain
T'Challa
Marvel. T'Challa's there, actually. Black Panther's out there.
I was just bullshitting.
Yeah, they actually have him out there. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
So with the introduction of Avengers Campus, they're introducing the new, like, latest technology ride with Spider-Man.
Okay.
Spider-Man is supposed to be like this. You're visiting this like laboratory where they're you're like an engineer, and they're showing off this new technology with these little spider bots
Okay.
that are supposed to help like spy and like complete tasks and stuff. And apparently things go haywire, and you end up in this little capsule where you're trying to catch them. And inside of the ride, they have these sensors where you literally just take your hand, make the Spider-Man like hand sign,
Okay.
and like you shoot webs in 3D. So you're
Oh.
literally just running around, just shooting webs
So
everywhere.
it has some kind of technology. Do you wear a glove, or is it like some kind of
No, it
technology
just
that
senses
just
your
reads your
hands.
hands?
It just senses your hands, and everybody's
Oh.
that's tested it has said, it's unbelievable how well it's working.
Oh.
So there's another like rumor that there's like the Spider-Man robot that's going to be like doing flips around the campus,
Okay.
like from building to building. There's a real life replica of the Quinjet
Okay.
on the roof that you're going to be able to hang out and see. The whole area looks pretty badass. There's a little microbrewery that they're opening up, so they're going to have some original beers there.
Okay.
It's supposed to be like Pym's experimental kitchen, where they do like oversized foods of like weird things.
Okay.
So everything's supposed to be like super. Just I'm excited to get like Marvel geeked out that day.
Man, it sounds like an experience.
Yeah,
I'll have
so,
to check that out at some point.
Yeah, once the hype dies down, I want to do a bigger group trip with everybody, but probably post pandemic, I would say.
Probably. All right. Well, that's fair. Yeah, that's something to look out for. I look forward to doing that at some point. That's not too bad.
What about you? How's your week been?
Nothing of note this week. It was kind of a routine. Work was whatever. Life was whatever. Nothing too crazy. So
Nothing new.
nothing eventful.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it was kind of a couple days was actually really slow.
Have we seen the lady friend recently?
Yeah, we doing all right. We doing well. It's the conversation's good. Time spent is good.
Okay,
No complaints. Not getting married tomorrow or nothing.
The day after, maybe?
No.
Hey, looking at your hat right now, you know what I just remembered? I was re-listening to our last episode. I don't think you mentioned Tom Brady one time in that last episode.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Dang, I gotta double my score. You know what? I was so. I mean, you know how it was last week, just getting back on the air and recording the podcast. So
I just thought it was funny.
Dang, broke my streak. How long is that streak, man?
It's been 30. What? How many episodes have we done? 36 now.
Yeah.
35.
Yeah, over since last June or so.
I was like, oh my god, we made it through a whole episode without talking about the Patriots.
Are you sure? Sure? Did the streak end?
I don't think we talked about football at all.
I usually find some way to incorporate Tom Brady.
I know, but at this point, I could not remember if you did or not. I'm like leaning towards you didn't.
Okay, we're doing okay.
You know what I was gonna bring up today?
What's that?
I forgot that. So this week, have you and he had one song that I just forgot how, like, I don't know. In my opinion, genius it was.
Okay.
Called "Dumb It Down."
Okay.
Where it reminds me of Lil Wayne when he did the song Dr. Carter. And he did it in like in a manner where it was just kind of like a weird like concept where he just kind of like, he's a doctor and he's doing surgery and he's trying to revive hip hop.
Okay.
Lupe does a song called Dumb It Down where he has other rappers on it or other people that voice into it.
Okay.
But like people that are basically trying to egg him into like, nah, man, like you're the stuff you're rapping about isn't cool. Like I need you to like dumb it down and start talking about bitches and like money and guns and stuff. And he's just kind of like going against the grain. And I was just like, damn it, dude, like this guy was so good. What happened?
The industry happened.
Yeah, it probably got after that, got a little poppy.
Yeah.
I was just like,
gotta sell records, man. They don't want you.
And I hate calling people sellouts because like the all-time like sellout band that I remember growing up, Green Day, they sold out because they used to be a punk band. Then they sold out and they became all poppy.
Yeah.
But dude, like they're making money. Like that's the goal. Like you can tell me you're a musician because you want to get your music out there and you want to give your message across to people.
Okay.
But you want to make some money. And I'm sorry, but if you get presented with the opportunity, their music still hit. The Green Day's music is all-time classic. They can do no wrong, in my opinion.
Okay.
They've earned that legendary status where anything they put out is going to be really gold. I just wish that Lupe Fiasco had the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, some people they just never really make it, and for me, like listening to music all the way from the 90s, there's a lot of artists. Some of them I can't even remember my name right now, but like you just kind of go at that time. You're like, why did this person never take off?
Yeah.
You know, there was a rap group. Do you remember Ludacris? When he first came out with "Disturbing the Peace,"
Yeah. Yeah.
he had an artist by the name of Shauna.
Yeah.
Okay, when she came out around the time people think when they heard of Kanye, it was like after he got with Rockefeller and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kanye was around long before that.
He was producing music for
He
a
was
very long
producing.
time.
Right? So there was a rap group called Infamous Syndicate, and they're from Chicago too.
Okay.
And it was Shauna and another young lady. And when people talk about how Nicki Minaj is a shit, this is why I can't get on board.
Uh-huh.
Cause like Infamous Syndicate, they was killing it.
Yeah.
Man, them bitches, man.
You can't say that, bro.
Man, no. If you heard their music, bro, woo! Man, they was live, like together too, because they was bouncing off each other.
Yeah.
You probably still find it on YouTube.
Okay.
It's a song called There We Go, I think is the name of it.
Uh-huh.
Google it. Infamous Syndicate, There We Go.
Man. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
then
excited
there's
to listen to it now.
yeah, I mean, it's like real bouncy, and you like, how the fuck? Like they were just, they was killing it, man. Their album wasn't quite as good, but you know, they was killing it. And then there was Cha Cha from Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
She was fire. I don't know what happened to them.
So you like the lady rappers?
Not really.
Just the 90s ladies rappers. I'm
but like that's what I'm saying. They were breakthrough artists for me.
I'm picturing like the TLC vibes at this point in that era.
Yeah. There was the R&B thing was strong.
Okay.
TLC, Escape, all them.
Gotcha.
That was strong. But these ladies, man, they were next level. They were
ladies
true artists. They were true art. I mean, they ladies, but when they was rapping, they was bitches. They was killing it. Man, I missed that time. I missed that time period.
Yeah, I hope I inspired you to go back and start listening to old music again.
Man, you gonna make me dig up the files, man, for real.
Oh man,
For
yeah,
real.
this Lupe Fiasco. I've been bumping it in my car all week, and I just had to mention it.
Yeah. Hey, shoot me some links to some good tracks, man. Maybe I need to give him another chance.
You don't need to. It's
No?
You can give him another chance, but then like I'm gonna cut you off at a certain time. He gets a little stale after a few albums. So
Okay.
his last stuff is he's got a little too artistic, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
I think he did like all right, guys, I'm going to sign with you, but I'm going to make the album you want. But then after that, I'm going to make the album I want. Okay?
Ooh.
And both of those albums ended up sucking.
Oh, man, Gordon says I just canceled myself. When you go listen to these records, because he don't know either, he's a little too young.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna say exactly what I said. If you ask these ladies, they're gonna be like, yeah, he got it right.
Okay.
So I feel safe and confident with what I just said. It's all good. Man, but this week you came up with the topic. I got to give you 100% credit for this week's topic.
Don't give me 100%. I got to give partial credit to my good friend Push.
Okay.
Push ended up sending me an article because I've been talking about investing money with him.
Okay.
And he's been kind of guiding me as far as like good things to like start researching.
Mm-hmm.
He sent me a link to like this, like how to get started investing kind of thing.
Okay.
And he already knows that I'm kind of started. So when I was reading the article, I was laughing because I was like, dude, this article is more like growing up, like how to be smart with your money,
Right.
like what to do with your money kind of thing.
Hey, real quick, guys. I know the YouTube feed is kind of chopping up. It looks like the program is asking for some kind of update. So that's probably the issue. But the audio feed is running just fine. So be sure to know that when we upload the audio feed this week, it should be clean. But I know that the YouTube is kind of choppy. Go ahead, Egg. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. Stupid YouTube. I'm sorry, YouTube. I didn't mean that.
Man, we need YouTube.
Yeah, don't just drop us right now. So anyways, I was reading the article and it was more like what to do with your money, like what to think about for retirement and for your future.
Mm-hmm.
And it just got me thinking about how like just being an adult, like the things that we go through that
Right.
like we just kind of don't think about at a younger age.
Okay.
I know we did that our episode about being in our 30s kind of thing.
Right.
It was more of a nostalgia trip than it was anything else.
Sure.
I was thinking more about growing up and just kind of So I sent you a link to an article that I found online.
Right.
Of course, that
And this
link is not
article is
popping up now.
10 Harsh Truths About Being an Adult. This comes from Steve.
I don't know about you, but since I turned about 32,
I'm going to call my mama.
my back has been killing me.
Yeah.
Like, no lie, I wake up and I can't sleep on my stomach anymore. I literally go to bed on my
Fuck,
stomach
man.
and I wake up and I feel like I'm dying.
Last time I stepped on my stomach, I had to be in my early 20s, man. You know what? You know what's wild about that? I miss it.
Yeah. It's comfortable as I go to sleep and I'm like,
But I don't even
hugging
think
my
about
pillow.
it. Like, I remember last time I thought about it, might have been a few weeks ago. I was like, I need to sleep on my stomach and see if that just feels good anymore.
And then 10 minutes.
And
went
then I go to sleep and then like I just forgot about it.
by.
I don't know.
You're like 10 minutes go by and then you're like trying to turn over on your back and you're like,
I ain't even make it that far. It's not even like I assumed the position. I just like wound down my day and I went to sleep like I always do. It's like it never happened, man.
But it's things like I'll still go for runs and stuff like that.
Okay.
I just go for a run and then like out of nowhere I got knee pain. And I'm
Yeah.
like, knee pain? What the hell is going on with my knee? Like, why is my knee hurt?
So I'm gonna pull the older man card on you.
Okay.
So because I'm slightly older than you,
Because it's true, yes.
I'm gonna let that one ride.
Mhm.
I've already been through that phase of denial.
Yeah.
And I know I've had that moment where I was like, oh, I thought I could still do that.
Yeah.
Or do it on the same level. Because your brain says yes, but your body says fuck you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So like I've done that. And then like I know some things I could still do if I trained. It's a matter of just not being in shape for that. Like
To do it spontaneously.
like I was when I was doing that activity, whatever that
Yes.
was, right? So
Have you ever watched How I Met Your Mother?
no, but I've been told about it.
There's an episode where they talk about it's the Murtaugh list.
Okay.
And they talk about the main character, oh my sorry, that's not Barney, Ted. He comes up with this list called the Murtaugh list, and he
Mhm.
goes, "This is my list of things that if you've ever watched Lethal Weapon and you know Lieutenant Murtaugh, his catchphrase is, 'I'm getting too old for this shit.'"
Yeah.
He made his own list of things that he just can't do anymore. And like number one was like go out drinking,
Mhm.
like pull an all-nighter.
Mhm.
And I was like, dude, that's so true. Last time I
Yeah.
went out like just past like 1 a.m.,
Yeah.
I felt like death for like 2 days.
Yeah. I mean, shit. I mean, you know how it goes in the household I live in, right?
Yeah.
So, sometimes we have our little late nights. Man,
The
I
keep up
swear to
session.
God, by the time 11 o'clock hit, I'm like, all right, guys, I'll shut it down. And they like, what's wrong with you? I'm like,
It's past my bedtime.
yeah. I'm like, man, I got to get up at 6. And they like, we do too. And I'm like,
I hate you guys.
nah, man. Nah, I could do this once this week. I can't do this 2-3 nights and
Oh,
and
dude.
nothing crazy is happening, right? We're just like sitting outside chopping it up, maybe a beer or two, maybe not, but I just like I get to the point where sleep is important to me. Like, I don't know, man. I get up and I like to get up earlier than I gotta go,
Mhm.
so that way I could kind of mummy walk myself around the house. Nice and slow and like get acclimated to the world. Because when I sleep now, the difference between me then and me now is that when I go to sleep and wake up, when I go to sleep, I'm not here. I'm not here. The world is not a thing. I've gone somewhere else.
Because
know what I
before
mean?
you used to sleep. Now
Before I used to
now
sleep
you
and I would be
sleep.
present to the earth. Now I'm just like, I'm not here. So when I come home, when I come back, I need to get my bearings.
Yeah.
Gravity's brand new.
Yeah.
All that shit. So,
Dude, when I sleep, I'm out now. Like,
Yeah.
I there's no getting me up anymore.
but I beat my body up so much in my 20s, man. I did too much.
There were times where like working in retail, I would
Mhm.
like go to work on a Friday,
Mm-hmm.
getting off like at 9 p.m. or something.
Mm-hmm.
I would go straight from work to the bar to go hang out with the friends that were already there.
Yeah.
We'd party until 2-3 in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have to open the next day at like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And I was able to just pound a Monster or a Red Bull
Mhm.
or a Rockstar, and
Mhm.
I was good to go. No,
See,
man.
that's just it, man. Like I did that, and then there are things between that and just life itself and what I was doing for a living. I used to look back. I'm like, I know I cut a few years off my life.
Mhm.
I know like this has to have some kind of negative bearing on my life, right?
Oh,
But
100%.
You know, I used to, like, when I worked at Pepsi, right? I would fucking my shift started at either 3 or 4 in the morning,
Mhm.
and then I'd get home about 6, sometimes 7, depending on what was happening. And then I'll still hang out with my girlfriend or
Oh, yeah.
my friends, or I'd go to the studio at that time because I was still rapping, you know. And then I wouldn't go home to go to bed till like midnight, 1 o'clock.
That was back then when you had 24 hours in a day.
Yeah, and I was using most of those 24 hours. I'm like, I slept 3 hours, and then
I'll be fine.
yeah, and then because I had access to shit, you know what I mean, like, whether it was Mountain Dew Amp or Red Bulls or whatever, I'm like, I'll make it for the next 6 hours.
Yep.
I'll take a crash course little half-hour nap. I'll be good in the car.
Yep.
And I'll be good.
I'll make it up somewhere else.
Yeah, and then on top of that, I wasn't even eating right, but that's a whole nother scenario.
So, yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll get to number 2 though. Number 2, patience is a virtue.
Okay, so that is one for me
Uh-huh.
that I matured very. I was always an old head, so that was one that in a lot of ways I had that. In some ways I didn't. So
Yeah.
I felt like I did really well with that.
Okay. Well, you had to learn it at a younger age. You had kids.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing that's
But
going to
even
teach
before
you
that.
patience, it's going to be kids. You're either going to learn it or you don't.
Yeah.
And if you don't, your kids are going to be messed up.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Patience has definitely been I think I learned that one at a young age myself.
Mhm.
Just dealing in retail and the food industry growing up. My first job was in the food industry. I worked for Pizza Hut,
Okay.
and you just dealt with some dumb people,
Really?
and you got to keep your mouth shut.
Did he ever ask for toppings on the side?
Of course.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Well, like it wasn't like crazy toppings, jalapenos on the side, or the pineapple on the side because they wanted cold pineapple on their pizza.
Oh.
I feel like you can relate to that. I don't know.
I think pineapples don't belong on pizza, period. But
You said hot pineapple.
at least they had the presence of mind to understand that pineapples deserve to be cold.
Oh my god, you guys! I can't with you guys. But anyway, yeah, with patience, I mean, Christy will tell you too. She's like, I don't know how you have the patience for certain things.
Yeah.
And I just learned at a young age. You just can't rush into things. You just let
Yeah.
things happen.
I think because I always lived in a house full of people. It was never just me.
Uh-huh.
So I never got things to happen simply because I was the only mouth, being loud.
Mhm.
It's always like, look at your brother, look at your sisters, whatever, right? Like, it was always more than just me. So I've always had to understand that things sometimes run at a certain pace.
Yeah.
And so I think that always helped me. I don't know. I've always been kind of a patient planner with most things, not all things, with most things. And that's kind of allowed me to say, okay, I'm going to sit here in this corner. I'm going to wait for my opening, and then I'll do what I want to do.
Yeah.
You
Which is good. There's certain things that require the patience, and there's
Yeah.
certain things that like, nah, man, like I got to go after it now.
I tend to frustrate people that way, though.
With what?
Like, because I don't readily jump.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah. Like, people expect me to sometimes go, and I'm like, no,
Like,
I'm still thinking about it.
there's no rush.
Yeah. And they're
It's
like,
not going
what do you
anywhere.
mean? And I'm like, oh, wait.
It's not going anywhere.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm one of those people.
All right, number
Yeah.
3. You are responsible for yourself.
Ooh, such a big one. Oh, you want me to go?
Elaborate, by all means.
This is one I learned probably right before I had my first child.
Mm-hmm.
You could really get stuck, and I preach this actually to my daughter now. You could really get stuck blaming the life you live, the things you don't have, the missteps in your life because of the environment you're raised in or your parents' missteps.
Mm-hmm.
And while to some degree those things are true,
Mhm.
at some point, especially when you get to be our ages,
Yeah.
it's on you,
Oh, yeah.
right? For a while, you are not in control of your life. You are not in control of your faith. You may have to jump extra hurdles that other people may have not had to. But at some point, the only way it's going to come to a resolution, the only way you're going to get what you want out of it is if you own it
Yeah.
for yourself
Mhm.
and stop blaming those outside factors.
Yeah.
And I think when you do that, you end up in a better place. And I think that this basically what you're doing is you're empowering yourself. And I think that's something that a lot of people never learn.
You never like it's weird because like the only way you really learn it is by falling on your face.
That is true.
You have to fail at it. You have to forget to do something
Mhm.
and just pay the price.
Mhm.
Um, one probably big one that everybody can relate to, car maintenance. The second
Ooh.
you just take your eye off of it, you wear a tire out, whatever,
Mhm.
you blow a tire or like in your car, your coolant, your radiator goes. Well, those things cost money. Like
Mhm.
you end up paying the price by not getting, your radiator flushed out every year. Doing things like your oil changes and things like that. Um, if you're lucky enough that you've had parents or somebody that will pay for those expenses, good for you.
Yeah.
But for those of us that have had to pay for those consequences,
Mm.
you quickly realize how important a lot of things like that are. Not just in life, but not just in like your own personal, but with things like your car, house maintenance. I'm sure is another one. I haven't
Yeah.
been blessed with the honor of owning a home.
Okay, so I was gonna tell you one of the biggest things that I learned that was crazy for me is when I got my first apartment by myself.
Yeah.
And I grew up in a house. It's 5 of us kids. It's, my parents. At points of time, my uncle was living with us.
Mhm.
Right? And so while every now and then I got to take out the trash thing, if I wasn't around to take out the trash, it happened because of my mom, because of my dad, because of my uncle, whatever, right?
Somebody was doing
It
it.
always happened.
Yeah.
Sometimes I got, like, hey, you're right there, take out the trash, that kind of deal.
Yeah.
I got out of that from being gone most of the time. I was one of those teenagers that was always at the house.
Yeah. Me too.
So I got my first apartment. I'm in there. Time is going by. Trash is piling up. And one day I came home. I opened the door and I was like, oh shit, it stinks in here. And I go, what is that? Walked into the kitchen. Trash piled up. And I'm like, huh? I literally said this out loud to myself in an apartment by myself.
Oh my God.
Oh, this is not going anywhere unless I take it out. True story.
Yeah.
True story. And I was like, I guess I better start doing that regularly. And it really taught me to like just kind of make sure my bed is the way I want it, make sure my kitchen is the way I want it. And that time by myself in an apartment by myself really taught me when things got out of control to do something about it or to not even let it get out of control. Because one thing I found is I hate cleaning. So
yeah.
because I hate cleaning, I tend to clean a little more often. So I have
Little
to do
bits at
less
a time.
of it.
Little
Yeah.
spurts.
Because I don't want to take 2-3 hours out of my day to clean. I'd
Yeah.
rather do like 15-20 minutes. Everything looks great. Sanitize a few things. I'm good.
My big one that I learned at a young age was lawn care.
Okay.
My dad used to do all the landscaping at the
Okay.
house when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then my dad fell ill. He had a stroke and he was no longer able to do it. And then I would watch the grass just get out of control.
Mm-hmm.
Then his brother, my uncle, would come over and do it. And then it was like, all right, we can't just rely on my uncle coming by and doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the reins on it. And then I became the person that was maintaining the lawn.
Okay.
And I was like, as I was growing up doing it, like even to this day, I'll still do it. And I understand the hype that dads get behind taking care of their lawn,
Right.
the grass that grows, and like, oh yeah, man, I totally leveled it out. Everything looks great. Got the new edger,
Mm-hmm.
the new edger, the new string that I put on it.
Uh-huh.
Look at those edges. Those
Are you
clean
like,
edges
oh,
right
look
there.
at the edge? Okay. I've never been that guy.
It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just the power tools.
I'm like,
I
honey,
love power tools.
I paid the man to cut the grass. How the grass look?
Fire him. Next guy.
Yeah.
Another
Yeah.
Mexican.
Yeah. Oh, shit. I'm like, can't do that. This guy charged too much. We got to keep this dude. He charged me $50.
Yeah.
It's all good.
He's not famous yet. He's not popular.
Yeah. She'd be like, look, he forgot to do. I'm like, it's okay. He charged me $50. So
Yeah, it's fine. I give him a pass this week. There was a Instagram post that I also was pulling information from that I was laughing at because I was like, It's so true. One of the comments that they put on there was deciding what's for dinner every night for the rest of my life.
It's easy when you by yourself.
Yeah.
It's even easier when it's just not you and your significant other.
Uh-huh.
It's hard when it's just you and her.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, oh, I don't care. You tell me what you want.
Oh, God.
And then you go, I don't care. What do you want?
So maybe things are a little different now. I am looking forward to when Christy and I are living together because of this little invention called the air fryer.
Mhm.
It's basically the adult microwave. You want anything that's going to be just cooked, just pop it in there for like 15 minutes.
Mhm.
Cooked. Magic.
Yep.
From Frozen.
Mhm.
So
I'm gonna remember you said that.
I'm not worried about that one right now.
I'm gonna remember you said that.
I said right now.
We're gonna have this conversation.
I said right now.
Okay. Wait. When are you guys moving in together?
This summer.
This summer.
Yes.
We will talk end of the year.
We will. Well, there's going to be a whole episode revolving around it, I'm sure.
Oh, yes. It will happen.
All right. Number 4 on the list. Your metabolism is slower.
No, I don't want to talk about this.
It's too real right now.
It's too real. Okay, so,
I'll start this one off.
Okay.
So, ever since I went to Hawaii, I haven't
Hawaii.
lifted a single weight since I got back.
Okay.
And I feel it. I feel the jiggliness. I feel the heftiness.
Mhm.
My footsteps, every step that I take is a little heavier.
Mhm.
Oh, I hate it so much. I went for one run after Hawaii.
Mhm.
I thought I was going to die.
My little brain went fucking Bobby Brown just now when you said every little step I take. I was like, every little step I take.
What's the other version? The other person that sings.
Don't worry about it. That's
step
not
you
important.
Take,
Yeah, it's not important.
every smile you make. No.
Yeah, no, it's not important. See, that's exactly why that's not important.
Mhm.
Right there.
Anyway.
But anyway, your metabolism.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, not a fan of where my metabolism is at right now
Mm.
because I just called the gym 2 days ago and found out
Can I get in?
the gym is 24 hours a day again.
Okay.
Planet Fitness wasn't doing 24 hours a day,
Okay.
7 days a week for during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So when I called, I saw it on their website and I was like, "Are you guys serious? Like it's open 24 hours now?"
Mm-hmm.
They're like, "Yeah." So I'm gonna go back and listen to our motivational episode, get back into the mindset,
Mm-hmm.
and start hitting the gym.
We gotta
again,
talk about that because
dude,
I need to be up in there my damn self. So
dude, if you need to sign up, by all means, we'll
yeah.
plan dates around it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So here is where I went wrong in life.
You narrowed it down to one moment.
One moment in my life. Okay. So you know us first generation Americans with our parents being from other places.
Yes.
We eat good. We die of fucking heart attacks and strokes and shit. Right.
Yeah.
Like our food is just not the healthiest shit you could eat.
No, it is not.
Right. And both my parents have fucking diabetes and high blood pressure and shit like that. Like food is just not healthy,
samesies.
you know? So, and I say that with all love and respect, but that's just the truth.
Yeah.
So with that, growing up in the era that we grew up in, being not knowing what exactly is healthy for us, you know what I'm saying, down to like we know more about nutrition and food than we ever knew in our history.
Oh yeah.
Right. And so, with that being said, never really growing up with a healthy food lifestyle.
Yeah.
When I became active in sports, got in shape, and I could pretty much eat anything I wanted.
Oh yeah.
So me and my cousins would literally, because of how much mileage we was putting on our body, walk to the bus stop, get on the bus, walk about another mile and a half, play basketball from 6 to midnight.
Yeah.
Right. And you know, all the other shit we was doing throughout the day, then walk back and all that. Man, we would stop, eat Burger King because it was cheap.
Yeah.
Right. Get a burger and fry, like 2-3 burgers and fries, split that shit because it was like 5 of us. Get home, crack open a box of Kraft mac and cheese.
Oh my God.
Per person, a box to a person.
Yeah.
Right. We weren't sharing the box. You cook your box. You get done, I cook my box, and then we would eat that with some fried chicken, whatever the fuck. Never gained a pound.
Yeah.
Never gained a pound. You know what happened?
Now?
I was fine. I turned 18, went into the workforce, never changed my eating habits. I was fine for a few years.
Yeah.
You know what did me in?
What?
Got into a relationship. Dead. That was it.
You got the freshman 15.
Yep. That was it. And all of a sudden, by 2005, dudes was like, the fuck happened to you?
Ra? Is that you?
Oh, man. But no, like in all seriousness, like, if it's a habit thing, right? And I see it now because my kids eat way differently than I ever did. And so if I ask the kids, hey, what do you want to drink? Or if that's leave them alone to be thirsty,
Yeah.
the first thing they look for is water. When I was a kid, it wasn't so.
That
We
was the
drank water
furthest
if it
thing.
was like outside, you know, the water hose, all that. We did that.
It's all convenience.
Yeah, but you get in the house and it's like, where's the soda? Right? Where's the juice?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that, you know, on all our shit, they got to have sugar in it, right? It got to have a bunch of flavor.
Yep.
You know, and like you just kind of grow up with these bad habits, man.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know. And it's to some point, I noticed the people that grew up like I grew up, if they were more poor than we were, or if their parents didn't emphasize having food in the house, like if you're not you don't have the kind of parents that go, no matter what, we're gonna have food, which is how my parents were.
That's my parents.
Right? They're like, we don't have anything else. I don't have some nice, you know, drapes for my window. My mom used to always say that. I don't have nice drapes, but we got food in the house. You guys will never starve. Sometimes I'm like, Mom, you should have went for those drapes. We'd have been a lot skinnier.
We should have starved a little bit. What's the definition of starving? Because
right. But like in contrast, right? Like my cousins, like their parents, they emphasize a few other things. So sometimes they had to like really ration their food.
Yeah.
You know, and as a result, they stayed in shape longer. You know, and I'm not faulting my parents. That goes back to you're responsible for yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Like you find yourself getting to a certain place, you have to decide you want to change some things. So it's kind of crazy how that works.
As a Mexican or a Latino, Hispanic, whatever you want to call me, I grew up with a mother that just constantly wants to feed you.
Yeah.
Constantly. One of my good friends, one of my best friends, Andy, will attest to this.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime that he would ever step into my house,
Mm-hmm.
would you like something to eat? And if there was like always, I don't know how, my mom used to work at Head Start, the preschool that like chain that goes around that's around Orange County, and I don't know how far it goes.
They were in LA County. I went to Head Start.
They might be nationwide actually. Now that I think about it. Anyway, she used to be a cook, so she just was constantly making food at work, at home, at work, at home.
That's what she did.
At the house, in the fridge, no joke. Andy will attest to this. There was always ham and cheese sandwiches, just pre-made.
Oh shit!
Like if you ever were just like you wanted to snack on something,
Mm-hmm.
just go in the fridge. There's a sandwich ready to go.
Why was I not in your house?
I don't know. To this day, he will say like, "Dude, like God bless your mom." Like she would always make sure that there was like something to eat.
All right.
I did not grow up a skinny kid whatsoever, but I was because I was overeating. I didn't play sports, so I wasn't like burning all of it off with sports. I'd burn it off from just playing and going out.
That's
and
where
doing
I
stuff.
got lucky. I got heavy in the sports.
I wish I did. I did karate. That's the only thing that kept me somewhat stable. But I was still what I would consider an overweight kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, after I got rid of karate, I really had nothing, and I just started ballooning up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like the metabolism just disappeared. It was a sad realization when I got to the point where I discovered that beer is a lot of calories. I hated it.
Yeah.
I went like a full year without drinking just to see how much weight I would lose. And that was my biggest weight cut. I lost so much weight from just cutting like liquid sugars out of my diet.
Liquid sugars, yeah.
That's where all of your calories will come from.
Yep.
Evaluate whatever you're drinking. If you go to Starbucks every day, even once a week, one of those drinks has at least 500 calories in it.
Yep.
That's like a third of your intake that you're supposed to be taking as an adult human.
Yep.
If you're doing zero activity.
If you're doing zero activity, yep.
It's insane. I wish, and I will actually, I wish that my parents had instilled a little bit of a nutritionist in me, but
yeah,
honestly, they grew up on a ranch.
It is what it is. It is what it is, man.
Eating whatever
you
they
know?
had available to them. I mean, on the farm.
Yeah. For me, there was so much lack in their lives. They were compensating and trying to just figure shit out and just trying to make sure we had more. And we're in America, right? Like it's easier to come by food.
Bigger is better.
My parents grew up in villages, bro.
Yeah.
You know, so they didn't fucking know.
Yeah.
So
The
yeah, I don't blame
the
them for
village
that.
ate.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, shit. They grew up in a funny quick story. Like my aunt, before she ended up living out here, she came to visit one time,
Uh-huh.
and my mom was like, "Oh, hey, your aunt's here. Don't worry, I'm gonna go to work. Your dad's gonna go to work. You know, your aunt will be here. She'll cook you dinner, whatever." And I had my routine. You know what I mean? I go to the park across the street. I go play basketball. I come home when I come home. Don't ask me no motherfucking questions. Right? That was me. Right? I was 16 years old, whatever.
Yeah.
And I had her screaming from across the street, "Come on, come in!" And I just leave it in the, you know, it's fine.
Yeah.
And whatever. And she kept yelling, so I came back, and I'm like, okay, this is the routine. Like mom told you, like, don't disturb me. I'm running 21. I'm killing these fools right now.
Yeah.
And she's like, "You need to come eat because the kitchen is gonna be closed." And I was like, "What the fuck does that mean? The kitchen is closed?"
This is Denny's. What's going on?
Yeah, I was like, "What is? Huh?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna close the kitchen. I'm gonna clean up the kitchen and turn everything off, and no one is to go into the kitchen." I was like, "We in America, people."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is,
That kitchen is open 24/7.
man. And I was like, "Yeah, go ahead, close down the kitchen, whatever. I don't care." I went back.
I got keys.
Right, and that's what happened. Like I went and played 2 more hours of basketball, came back. She found me in the kitchen, got mad, and then we had a thing. And she was like, "Oh, I can't wait for your mom to get home." And then like she was pissed off, I was pissed off. She go to tell my mom, and my mom walked in, and my mom just starts laughing, and she was like, "How did I know this was gonna happen?"
Oh my god. She predicted it. That's not cool.
Yeah, I was like, "Well, if you preempted this, why you ain't say nothing?"
Yeah, totally.
But she's like, "Yeah, in Belize, like they closed the kitchen down because the kitchen is like an exterior building."
Yeah.
And then everybody comes to eat, and then you clean up and you lock it up, right? Because like, so people don't go in there when they're not supposed to and all that.
It's
so.
smart. I mean, honestly, like there should be a cutoff time for how late we should be eating.
Yeah,
There should be no midnight snacks. You
Yeah.
should just have a routine. There
right.
should be a routine set where
Yeah.
you have the certain amount of calories in a day.
Yeah.
That's it. There should be no more. Cap it off.
Yeah, I mean, but like, yeah, like you're right. Like there's some good things to that, right? And so the people, and you grew up in the village, you fucking walk everywhere.
Yeah.
You walk to
You're
school,
burning
you got to walk
calories left and right.
Yeah. So for the most part, most of those people are in shape.
High metabolisms.
Yeah, high
I hate
metabolism,
them.
whatever. So, there's something to be said versus for us. There's corner stores. There's, like,
McDonald's on every corner.
well, even the invention of the refrigerator,
Yeah.
right? Like if you go to Europe, there's still some places in Europe they don't fucking keep a full refrigerator full of shit like
Yeah.
that, right? Like you keep some water on hand and that's it. Other than that, you go to the grocery store daily.
Yeah.
Right? You pick up the things that
The
you're going to cook
market.
for the day.
You go to the market.
You go to the market, you pick up things you're going to cook for the day. You
Yep.
come home and that's what you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's pros and cons to both.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Number 5, you will lose touch with people. This one's kind of sad.
is it?
I mean, yes and no,
Yes and no.
because for me, like I've lost touch with people that I truly did care about, and
That's fair.
you grow apart. They start families. You start families. Whatever is happening in each other's lives,
Mm-hmm.
you're just not on the same page.
Yeah.
And whether you want to consider it you catching up or you just starting a different chapter in another book, whatever, maybe they moved away and you can't see them as often, you will lose touch with people as you grow older.
Mm-hmm.
And but you kind of adapt. Like I've gotten to a point where I know who I'm going to probably see for the rest of my life. And thank goodness for things like Instagram and Facebook, because it does let me keep in contact somewhat.
That you
Enough.
probably otherwise would have lost touch with.
100%.
Hmm.
I'm able to like kind of see and make sure that certain people are progressing, and it just makes you feel good to know that they're doing well, and the ones that you don't see on there probably aren't doing so well, and maybe try to reach out, depending on that relationship that you had with that person.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I came to grips with that probably in my late 20s,
Okay.
so not that long ago.
So I've had to do this several times over,
Yeah.
right? Time and space, just working versus, like kind of going full on into the workforce as soon as I turned 18.
Yeah.
Kind of separated me from those who weren't quite as serious as I was. Separated me from those who went straight to college.
Mhm.
And then my early 20s, I kind of had goals that I was striving for, and that separated me from people who just had a 9 to 5 and wanted to go home.
Mhm.
Um, and then obviously when I became a family man, uh, so I've gone through those several different times. And it's just time and space, man. And some of those people are like, it's sad to have lost them in the shuffle.
Yeah.
Uh, but I understand why there's no bad blood or animosity, but I understand why we can't be close.
Yeah.
Some people, it's just better that way. And some people, it's because I'm different. And as far as I can tell, they're still the same.
Yeah.
So you kind of grow. You kind of wish everyone that you ever met can come along with you, but that's just not possible.
Yeah.
And I guess because this has happened so many times over, it's not a big emphasis for me when I can't bring somebody with me.
Yeah.
I've seen relationships. I have relationships who they kind of took a back burner. They're around, but they're back there somewhere when they used to be like the person I speak to every day,
Mhm.
and then came back again, and then they're now in the background again.
Yeah.
Just depending on what we're doing. And life is crazy like that. But you know what, man? I tell all the people that are important to me, if I love you, I love you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can always call me. It doesn't matter if we don't talk every day. I'm not that kind of person who needs that sort of attention to call you a friend. You and I have been that way.
Yeah.
It just doesn't matter. So that one for me is that's a pretty smooth one for me too, because I understand how life works, and I know some people get really upset. Like if you're not in their life the way that they see you, that you're supposed to be in their life, they get upset.
Yeah.
And I just go, man, hey, go do your thing, man. If we supposed to get together, or we make an effort to get together, then let's do that.
You get in trouble, call me. I will be there. I'll help
Yeah.
you out. But
Yeah. But I also need to get better at that, though. I also need to get better at that. I'm really bad at sometimes just saying, hey, I didn't want shit. Just thought I should call and say hi.
Yeah.
I'm really bad at that because I'm really bad at small talk.
Yeah.
I'm really good at calling you like when I got something on my mind, like I was thinking of you, and you're like, yo, he called me with all kinds of energy.
I'm not ready for that. Text me first.
Yeah. But I am not good with like, yeah, man, I just, I don't know, fucking DMX came on TV and I thought about you. What's up? What you doing? I don't know how to do that. It's really hard for me.
I feel like whenever anybody says that, like if it's weird, I feel like whenever I say, hey, I was thinking about you and I just felt like I wish I'd call you, that it feels very not authentic. It just feels very disingenuous that I'm faking it,
Let me ask you this. Is it easy or hard for you to tell your friends I love you?
That's easy for me.
That's gotten easier for me through the years.
Yeah.
Like before I would never even think to say that, but like I've learned to just sometimes say that.
Yeah.
And not feel weird about it.
Yeah. I said it during the toast at the wedding last weekend. Like it's just it flows now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's not even a thought. I don't know. I just feel like you get older and you have a better understanding for that and what that means versus like, I don't know, being immature about it maybe.
It always reminds me of the movie I Love You, Man.
Yeah.
I love you, man.
Yeah.
I love you, bro.
Yeah, but you know what? Like instead of being weird about it, like I feel good when I say that now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
It's because you're saying it to people that you actually love. Like it's not. I don't know. There's like when you're growing up and you have all those buddies and stuff.
Yeah.
It's the homie hug kind of thing.
But I also have regrets.
Yeah.
Of people that I feel like, even though I know that they know that,
Mm-hmm.
and our relationship was strong, but they're not here anymore. And like, if you ask me if there's one thing you could have said to this person, if you knew this was the last time you were going to talk to this person, which you never do.
Yeah.
What would you have wanted to say? And it's very simple for me. I would have wanted to say, I love you.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a chance to say that. So, I have that regret, maybe 2 or 3 times in my life. So like I try not to do that anymore.
For sure.
So if I feel it, I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love you, Raw.
I love you, man.
All right, number 6. You will work for or with people you hate. God damn it! If that came true.
Is that true for you?
When I started working in retail,
Okay.
I've established some lifelong friendships.
I want names and locations.
Garrett. I met Garrett through one of my jobs, and he is one of my best friends.
Right.
Like, you make these strong relationships, but
Okay.
damn it, dude! Like I've had some pretty shitty bosses that you're just like, how did you get into position? Who did you bribe to get into the position that you're in? There's just, I don't know. I consider myself lucky that it's been very, very few. Like I can definitely count on one hand the people that I've worked for that I just did not like. Maybe hate, it's a strong word, because I
Okay.
never really hate anybody,
Okay.
but I've had a very strong dislike for some people out there. You
No.
never worked for anybody you hated? With anybody you hated?
Everybody that I didn't like was always at a distance to me at work.
But you worked with them. That's what I'm saying. I would push them aside. I paid no mind. But yeah, there were some people that I just look at and just be like, God, I hate you so much.
That's so strong a word.
Yeah.
I'm going to say no. There are people that I didn't want to be around. I didn't like working with them, or they irritated me, but I can't say like I hated them or like felt some type of way.
You never had like an inappropriate coworker? Somebody that you're just like, oh God, like cringe every time they come near you because they're about to say some stupid shit.
Yes, but what I'm saying, like the word that we're using is hate.
Yeah.
And so I don't feel like I ever felt that strongly about it.
I've been annoyed by some people. I found some people so annoying.